Hello, you lovely people. We're here once again with another episode of From the Kitchen Table with the Chief, backed by popular demand. You won't believe the number of people that have been that have been messaging saying, "Can we get that Neil Lauder back on, please?" Because he had some unfinished business. Didn't he? We were very strict with the time. Let's get the time going. We are going to be strict with this time. 6 minutes. You know the routine by now. Let's hit this week's theme tune.
Heave-ho, the tide is on the turn. For Pan-Celtic shores our hearts do burn.
Actually better than
From the
the last one.
kitchen table with the chief, Heave-ho, the tide is on the turn. For Pan-Celtic shores our hearts do burn.
I quite like that one.
Yeah.
It was quite good.
Yes, there we are. So that was this week's intro music. Neil liked that one's good. So last time we had Neil on, I posed 2 questions to him, but we only got a chance to answer 1 question. So Neil, the second question is, people coming to do an ultra for the first time, as we said last time, you've done a number of ultras now. What you don't know probably isn't worth knowing. What advice would you give to somebody coming into it for the first time on the race day start? So it's going to be, just so you didn't know, there's actually some of you guys out there, pretty much it's going to be a neutralised start until we get to the ferry port, because we're all going to get the same ferry over to Dublin. So I'll set you off and you can take your time, you can make your way there. Racing proper happens once we landed in Dublin and we go from there. So Neil, what advice would you give to people from what you've seen in your own experience?
Yeah, I'd say first of all, take it at your own pace. Don't get too drawn in to the pointy end of it. Even if you're fairly fit and you're up for it, don't get too drawn in. Don't worry about the dots. Obviously, just take it easy for the first few hours at least. Anyway, yeah. And then obviously I've seen it like 2019 when we set off for Inverness. I even said to myself, don't get drawn in. And then it ended up being like a road race for the first, at least 50 miles, and we were hitting like 300 watts averaging into brutal headwind. It was ridiculous. It burned so many matches. So yeah, I'd say that would be quite key. Just, just chill out, take it back a bit, and not be too drawn into what everybody else is doing around you. It's your own race at the end of the day.
And then what would you recommend in terms of like, I guess it's personal preference, but sleeping? Would you aim to get some sleeping on that first night, Neil? The first 12, 20 hours, or do you ride through the night and then get some hours in the day?
I generally go to sleep at night. So I've gone through the night, but that's later on in the race. I've seen it. I mean, it's just obviously most people sleep through the night, so that's how I do it. I'll ride until either I'm tired or I think, well, to be fair, this is a good spot to stop. But again, I've seen people ride through the night thinking it's going to give advantage, and then I've had a couple hours sleep, they've not slept, I've then caught them up and overtaken them, and they look absolutely burnt, and that's on day 2. So I think, you've got to rest, so why not do it at night time for a bit, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's what I'd probably say.
All right, and then what's your kind of preference? Do you sleep outside the whole race, or do you do a bit of mixture? Or?
I've done both. I've done a few B&Bs, I've done a bit of outside, I've done just outside. I'd say sleeping outside, like bivvy bag or whatever, tenting, it is quicker. It obviously isn't as comfortable. If you go B&B, hotel, stuff like that, it's very comfortable, it's very nice, and you start enjoying that, and the time just starts ticking. You'll have a long shower or a long bath, then you'll have your breakfast, and it just all starts adding up. But I mean, if you're at the pointy end, that's not what you were doing. If you're there just for a leisurely time and enjoy the race, or if it's not a race for you, just the event, then why not take your time a little bit at a hotel or B&B and have those niceties?
Yeah, I agree with you. My personal preference is always to sleep outside, for what you said.
Yeah,
because you get into a hotel room, don't you? And you paid, say, £80 for that, and you want your money's worth, and then you breakfast sometimes included, so you think, well, I'll stay for breakfast, and then you're having the breakfast there, and then all of a sudden it's 9 o'clock.
Yeah, and you've wasted so many hours already, so yeah.
Great thing about bivvying, I find, is that you ride until the point where you're just tired and you don't want to ride any further. You find a spot, sleep for 4 or 5 hours, get back up, and that can be 5 in the morning. And because you just want to get going, it's cold, you tend not to hang around it, out your bag and get
100%.
going.
Yeah, you get pedaling just to warm yourself back up. So yeah.
Very good. And shoes is a good one. So you ride
I'd recommend-
SPDs or
I'd recommend
SPDSLs? Yeah,
It's
shoes
quite
don't be-
important.
But so I mean, what type of pedals do you go with?
Again, that's personal preference. I've ridden SPDs for the first 2 Pan Celtics and when I did Transcon. But then ever since, for this sort of event, I rode my road shoes purely because I do find them more comfortable because it's what I'm normally in. So I think again, whatever you're comfortable in riding and you're trained in, maybe that. Obviously, the road shoes are harder to walk in slightly, and if you do have to walk in them, you're going to wear your cleats down. Where if you're using the MTB style, obviously you're not wearing them down and they're safer to walk in. So again, depends on the person, doesn't it?
Tyre width.
Oh jeez.
Tyres it's a minefield, but just the width of tyre, that's an easier one to nail down. What do you tend to go for?
I go for about 30. I've ridden the Brittany one with 25s, which is a bit thin, but yeah, generally a 28 to 30 I would say is fine. Some people like 32s. 32s is fine. I personally wouldn't go any bigger than a 32.
Okay.
But
And then Dynamo Power. Oh, there we are. And we're going to keep strict to this. So Neil, thanks for coming back. You
Thank
came
you.
all the way back up from, where do you live, Neil? Kent. He lives in Kent. He came all the way back up here to finish off this question. Appreciate it, Neil, as do the people. So we'll stop that and let's have the outro. Bang.
Heave-ho, the tide is on the turn. For Pan Celtic shores, our hearts do burn. From the kitchen table with the chief, Heave-ho, the tide is on the turn. For Pan Celtic shores, our hearts do burn.
There we are. Thanks very much. Thanks, Neil.